was a stranger play? Garrett's side spin double or the one off the wall?
It was a very weird play, no doubt. There was a little bit of a base running mistake in there. We'll have to get corrected. But what a great night from G. Wright, being able to play both two spots in the middle of the field and be able to get back there. And we were able to check a lot of boxes, but there was definitely some strange ones. But an incredible play by Antigua. They're late to keep the ball in the infield and not only do that, but have the awareness to throw the ball to third base and Henry to be there. And ultimately finish the play. And we probably could have done the rundown a little bit better. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But good job by our guys competing.
You've been surprised by how productive Stone has been in these two games?
No, he's an easy guy to root for, and all the success that he gets is earned in a lot of different ways. But just taking short swings, I like too, even just taking a walk and, you've been on the bench or for a different reason, right? But hadn't had a ton of ABs. Those guys may want to chase some hits at the beginning, but to mix in a walk and hit a homer and catch the ball the way he has the last few days, it's a really good sign for us moving forward.
How great was it to see Blaine not only the multi-hit day, but going the other way?
Massive. We need that, and we looked at some things with him yesterday on video, and credit to our staff for getting him in a good spot and really crushed some balls to left center. I mean, that second arm that he faced that drives that ball to left center, he really missed a 92-mile-an-hour heater running away, and just a good short swing, not trying to do too much, just been crashing at the ball a little bit, but he's wildly talented and going through the league for the first time. He just needs to stay in the right mindset, and I think just kind of staying in that phone booth a little bit more was a point of emphasis and credit to him just for being able to take what we worked on and for him to be able to put it into action today.
How would you assess Crimson's outing?
I thought it was great. Again, 92, 97. I thought he threw some good sliders. You can just kind of tell by the way the ball's coming out of his hand what you're going to get. So that was good to see with just some conviction and the work he's been doing with Rand on the side just to get more consistency, even with his catch player, how he's going through things. And what I did want to do was have him get through an inning and then sit down and then get back up. So we did score some runs. And, again, attacking the strike zone, the guy hits a laser up the middle, kind of a tip of the cap swing right there. But, we need Kranz down the stretch, so we need him to be able to continue to stack, and then whether it be multiple innings or whatnot, but his stuff is as good as anybody in the league when he's on. We just need to get him there.
What do you need to see from him to kind of have the trust to go to him in a high leverage spot in the weekend?
Well, I think there's a lot of guys that we're trying to mix and match, and again, like what Haas was able to do to come out, or Chandler Day, it's we just want them to get out there and compete. And even Abraham, has a really good first inning and gets tagged a little bit in the second, but he's throwing the ball over the plate. We can live with that if we can play defense. And so I think, again, Kranz no walks tonight, attacking the strike zone. He's a guy that we really believe in was a highly touted recruit. So we just need to keep stacking. Hey, let's make sure that next outing he's in a good mindset and throws the ball like he did tonight, and we'll continue to build that way.
Iota didn't strike anybody out tonight, but 7 of the 9 guys he faced were ground balls. Is that equally impressive?
It is.
To have a bunch of strikeouts?
Yeah, that's hard to do, but no walks too, which is really, really good. But when he throws strikes at the bottom of the zone, it's very hard to get the ball in the air. And lefties have got him a little bit better. Usually the way that ball's sinking in, they're kind of hunt the middle, inside, bottom, and try to shoot the ball to left center. But again, some great defense by our guys. Grimmer had a million putouts tonight, it seemed like, but doing a good job. And Kiv's got those guys in the right spots. And when we get ground balls and pop-ups, they need to be outs, period. And I think everybody was working together right there.
When Henry's not having the best day on offense, how big is it to see him making plays in the infield?
Yeah, he was great. I mean, those guys grind away, whether it be early work in different positions and moving around. And he didn't even really play third base at Virginia at all until he got here. So he's come a really, really long way, and that's a credit to a lot of guys on our staff. But, no hits, but is able to get an RBI tonight. We always tell the guys RBIs only go up, so don't be worried about chasing hits, and had an amazing day on Sunday, of course. But he's a guy, when he does that, he's going to change the game plenty offensively for us. But the consistency he's given us over there is really a credit to him and how he's continued to work and has made himself a more than capable third baseman in this league.
It's early in the week, but what do you know about Alabama?
It's just always a good club. And we told the team, the 9 or 10 years we've played these guys, it's always a battle, regardless of who's on the roster, home or road. It's just a good competitive SEC weekend. I think Rob Vaughn is a phenomenal coach. He always treated me very, very well on the road when he's the head coach and I'm assistant. There was no need for him to come out of the way. So that's something that, again, I've always been grateful for. And I know he's worked with Coach Kivett in the past. But good program, good competition. But we're on our home turf this weekend, and I'm excited for the challenges and hopefully have our crowd in it with us just like they have been. And need to protect our home turf.
Do you anticipate any, I know it's a Thursday, Saturday, but any changes with the starting rotation?
No, we talked about it a little bit, but the main thing we're looking at right now is how's the weather going to play out. So that'll be before we make any decisions right there. It'll probably be more of a day-to-day deal this week. But I know Blanco's in a good spot. Threw about 110 last weekend. He feels good. Tegan feels great, and Max should be more than fresh, ready to rock and roll.
I was gonna ask you about how many pitches those guys threw over this past weekend. They threw a lot. How concerning is it that now they're gonna be starting a day early, coming off of an outing where they threw a lot of pitches?
Yeah, it's, well, again, really, if you think of like in pro ball, you're on that 5-day stretch, right? So again, in college, you have the luxury to get a couple more days, but I think with having Keegan that's been in the major leagues and goes through that process, and he's done it for, the 5 or 6 years he's been in professional baseball in the major leagues, it's easy for them to go to him and say, hey, what adjustments did this starter make, or this guy for the Brewers, or this guy for the Cubs? So I know Blanco was actually doing a little bit more today, kind of amping it up, getting ready for the week. Hit that reset button a little bit quicker, but we got great people in the building that'll get them right, and then it's really not that one day is really not too big of a deal.
I asked Stone about how bummed out he was that he didn't get to travel to Mississippi State, and instead he talked about how happy he was that Ethan Moore got to travel in place of him for the first time. You've always talked about how great of a teammate Stone is. Does that epitomize that?
100%, and he's gonna. We all wanted him there, and then credit to Emo. We played well down there. His karaoke on the bus after wins needs to improve, but it was a good effort, and I'm glad he was there and brought some good energy. And it's just if you're a good teammate and you handle business the right way, you can change the vibe whether you're in the mix of the battle or not. So that's such a valuable thing. Being a good teammate is something we've talked about here for a very, very long time in a lot of different ways, and there's a lot of different ways to do that. Stone is a great example of how Emo did it when he got his opportunity to travel, and a lot of guys have been good teammates as of late and need to continue to be down the stretch.
That's the first time he's never traveled since he's been here, probably, right?
I think so. Yes, first time.
Anything else, Coach? All right, thanks everybody.